Hello, everybody. This is Linda from North Central Texas, and I wanted to fix something a little bit different. And yeah, I still got my canner up here. I've still got all my jalapeno or my pepper jelly up here. Don't that look good, y'all? Don't that pepper jelly look good? Because I haven't finished. I've still got more stuff to can. I've got another batch of pepper jelly to do. Uh, and I may do some strawberry jelly. I'm not sure, because I've got some in the freezer that I need to get the strawberries out. If I have enough, I may go ahead and make jelly with it. But right now, I'm making me some a late lunch or early dinner. We're going to make us like my version of seafood chowder. So y'all come on and watch what I'm doing. Let's see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see in the pot. Maybe that'll be a little better. Can't see everything, but you know, that might help. I don't think I can raise this anymore. I think I've got it raised. Well, let me see. Maybe I can. Just a little bit. There you go. That's a little bit more. I don't want it too high because that neck will be bent over so hard it'll fall over on top of me. But anyway, what we're going to do right now, and I'm not going to make a whole bunch of it, maybe enough for 2 good sized bowls, and it's not going to be real watery or anything. I may cut half an onion. Can't do it with that knife. Let me get my stand-by knife. It cuts through just about anything. Go ahead and get this burner on and let it be getting heated up. Oh, I want to put a little bit of olive oil, maybe about a teaspoonful. And I'm going to put some butter. If you have regular butter, go ahead and use that. I use what I've got. Now I'm going to, you know what, this is not going to be good for chopping that either. Let me get my other knife. This is my standby chopping knife. I've not had my version of chowder in a while, so oops, I see some pieces I didn't cut. Yeah, I don't want great big pieces in there, but I don't want them pulverized either. I'm going to go ahead and do my celery as well. So that'll be cooking because, you know, celery takes a pretty good while to cook. And I don't want it to take all day. I'm going to put a little bit of chopped garlic, about a half of a teaspoonful. You can put as much as you want in there, that's up to you. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of seafood seasoning. Probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. And you can see it's just seafood seasoning. That's all it is. I'm going to go ahead and peel a potato while that's cooking a little bit to save time. I'm just going to put one potato in. And we're just going to cube it up, or not cube it up. Yeah, we'll cube it up. Chop it up. I want it in kind of small pieces. So I'm slicing each half at least 3 or 4 times in a row. And then I'm going to come and dice it up a little bit the opposite way. And that's just going to put it in little kind of, not really squares, but little oblong pieces. I mean, you can cut it as big or small as you want. It's just that the bigger it is, the longer it takes to cook. Ooh, my celery's got in a clump. I'm going to let that cook just a little bit. And as always, I put water on my potatoes until I get ready to use them, because I don't want them to turn dark. I've also got thyme, and I always use usually the Great Value, but this is Kelowna. Just a little bit of thyme. Probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. And I'm going to add garlic powder, y'all. Even though I put, but just a little, not much. And that's about all I'm going to put in it right yet. Yes, you can see that down in there. In the meantime, I've got a piece of Atlantic salmon. It's a pretty good price, I think. It was $9.19 a pound, but this is less than a pound, so I only paid $6.50 for it, or $6.62, as you can see right there. And that's going to make more than one meal for me, because I'm going to use it not only in my chowder, but I'm also going to cook part of it for a different meal. So it's literally going to make 2 meals for me. Because what I'm going to do, if I can get it out of this pack, there is, if you can see that, a thick side and there's a shallow side. And what I'm going to do is get this salmon juice all over everything. Try not to. But I got another bowl that I'm going to use. But I'm just going to come and cut this right basically in half. And then I'm going to do my best to get it off of the skin. And I'm chopping it up a little bit because I don't want it in a big whole piece. I'm going to turn my burner down. Now what I'm going to do is throw just a little bit of flour in on my onions. And we're going to cook that flour in that little bit of juice a little bit. I probably need more butter. Because we want that flour to cook just a little bit in with the onions and the celery and the garlic. See, I basically just shaved that right off. And that's going in my seafood chowder. But you want to get all of the pink meat off of the skin so you can put it in your chowder. And I'm just going to cut this off. And I'm going to put that in a container. I can put this in a container to, well, I know where my containers are. Well, I'm going to put it in a plate right for this minute. And that's going to be for another meal. I think I got everything cut up. Also, I'm going to add, I don't have crab, but I'm going to add this seafood imitation crab. It's only $1 a package in Walmart. Now, I'm going to add water in all of my potatoes here. Just a bowl full of water with my cut up potatoes. Turn my heat up. In the meantime, I'm going to come over here if I can get it open. They make these things easy to open, but they're always difficult for me. I don't know why. So I'll just get them out this way. And I'm just going to slice that in hunks. Because we got to cook those potatoes a little bit. But they're white potatoes, so usually they don't take very long to cook. Maybe put another bowl of water in there. You've got to have enough to cook your potatoes. I love this stuff. It's imitation crab, but it's so good. Sometimes I'm a little bit hungry when I go grocery shopping, and I'll get a package of, package of that to snack on when I first come out. I'm going to open a can of whole kernel corn, and I am going to drain off the juice. See, it's just great value whole kernel corn. You can get it about 50, 60 cents at Walmart. They've got a special on some of it right now. You can get the big cans for 50 cents, but I really didn't need the big cans. And I've got about a cup of shrimp. Just a cup, because, like I said, I'm going to make maybe 2 good-sized bowls of this seafood chowder to eat, because I don't want a ton of it. I mean, I love it, but I don't have any room in the freezer to freeze it. And I don't want to have to eat it for another, a whole week. I've already got some soup in the refrigerator now. So I don't need any more put in there. Now we can go ahead. Trying to open the wrong side of it. Season to taste. I'm just going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, because I love pepper in mine. I'm going to shake in a little bit of parsley. Not much. We've already got thyme in there. We've already got garlic salt. Or not garlic salt, but we've got the garlic powder, seafood seasoning. And we're going to wait till our potatoes are just about done before we add any more to our seafood chowder. It's kind of a dark color, but that's where I brown the rice. Brown the flour and brown the onions and the garlic. It might boil quicker if I put a lid on it. And I'm going to go ahead and put my crab right in the bowl with my salmon. So I basically got probably about a half a cup of salmon and a half a cup of chopped imitation crab. And then I've got right at almost a cup of shrimp. And it can be any kind of shrimp, it doesn't matter. It can be the little tiny shrimp, the cheaper shrimp. It can be the bigger, whatever you find. I don't usually buy shrimp unless it's on sale. Not on sale because it's always on sale, but I only buy it usually when it's on special. When I get a good deal with it. And you can serve this with oyster crackers. I love oyster crackers, but instead of that, I usually buy saltine crackers because I can find more other uses for the saltines other than just eating with my soups or my chowders. But I'd love to hear how some of you may fix your seafood chowders, if you even make any seafood chowder. I don't know. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add my corn. But this is how you can cook for 1 or 2 people. Just don't do a great big recipe. And my seafood chowder, I want kind of thick. I don't want it all watery and nothing but soup. I like it kind of thick. I'm going to be washing up some of my dishes while I'm waiting for those potatoes to cook a little. That way I don't have so much to clean up later. I'm sure y'all can sympathize with that. Take one of these plates out here. Because I'm going to use it to serve my chowder in. I have done nothing but keep my hands in water for days now because I've been doing so much canning and stuff like that. Where I have no fingernails left. My fingernails are gone, y'all. See how it's coming along, y'all. Try one of the potatoes and see. Yeah, it's getting there. It's about half done. So we'll cook it another minute or two before we add our shrimp and stuff in it. And I'm going to add just a little bit of milk to this little container. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of flour in it. Just to thicken up my chowder just a little bit more. And you'll have to judge that when you go to make it yourself. If it's not thick enough with the tablespoon or so that you put in there to begin with, that brown with your onions and stuff, just add a little bit of milk to a little container like I'm doing here. Put another little bit of flour in there and mix your flour in with that little bit of milk. Try to get the lumps out of it. I went in Walmart to pick up a couple of things, and when you start moving stuff on the counter, it seems like dust, pollen that settles on the items, gets in the air, and I start breathing it, and I start coughing or I'll sneeze. Customers look at me like they think I'm sick when I'm not. It's allergies. I'm not going to add all of that at one time. I want to see how thick it gets because I don't want it too thick. And don't worry if there's little tiny lumps of flour in there. They'll cook out. I think I'm only going to have to use half of it. I got to taste it so far. Taste it for seasoning. It's tasting pretty good. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put my shrimp in. Now you can put them whole or you can chop them up. It's up to you. And they were cold because they'd been in the refrigerator. So I'm going to have to let my liquid heat back up. I'm going to add a little bit of carnation milk. Not much. Bring that back, the heat back up in it. But don't that look good already? No, you can see it. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and add my salmon and my little bit of imitation crab. And one thing else I'm going to do is put just a tiny bit of chicken bouillon in there, not much. I'm not making chicken soup, but I do want to flavor it just a tiny bit. About a teaspoonful. Now that's all the milk I'm going to put in there because my stomach doesn't tolerate much cream or whole milk or anything like that. But feel free if you want to put heavy cream in yours or anything of that nature, go right ahead. Got to taste it. Oh yeah, it's tasting good now. ahead and pour the rest of this flour out because I'm not going to need any more. But that's how you do it. If you don't put enough flour in it to thicken it to the consistency that you want it to be, just add a little milk to a container, put a little flour in there, mix it up, and then add it. Just add a little bit at a time because you don't want it to get too thick on you. And it's only going to take a couple of minutes for this to do its thing. Let's see, I thought I had crackers out here. I guess I didn't. I mean, you can add, eat crackers with it. You can eat toasted bread. Whatever you want. Sometimes I just like to eat mine by itself. But you don't want to cook it too long after you put your salmon and your shrimp. Just leave it in there long enough that you know that your shrimp are cooked. And by then, that salmon should be done. But that is going to be some of the best seafood chowder you have ever eaten. And it's not actually Manhattan style. I mean, it's kind of an in-between a Manhattan style and a different type. You know, the one that you put tomato stuff in. Tomato sauce, chopped tomatoes. Y'all, I can't even talk today. What's wrong with me? Do you know, I went into Marshall's the other day to pick up a couple of things or see what they had for Christmas. And when I got ready to leave, I had already been in Marshall's, and then I went to Ross's next door. Well, you know, Marshall's, they have like a little foyer between the outside door and the inside door where you park your carts. And I was thinking of that, I don't know why, when I went into Ross's. But me, I had 1,000 things on my mind. And here I am trying to go out the door with the cart. And you know it's got the pole up on one corner. And I hit it at the top of the door frame and wondered, well, why can't I go through the door? And finally the cashier that was there, he saw what I was doing, and I started laughing, and I turned toward him, and he said, our carts don't go out the door. I said, I realize that. I said, I'm thinking I'm over there in Marshall's. That's the first time I've ever done something like that. It was crazy. Yeah, now our chowder is done. Because we don't want all of our fish just to cook to pieces. We just wanted our shrimp basically to cook with our salmon. Oh, and I made a mess. I made a mess, y'all, on my bowl. Can't have that. Can't have my bowl looking messy. I spilt it in the plate, and it bugs me because it doesn't look good that way. But there y'all go. Doesn't that look like some real good seafood chowder? I mean, you got the shrimp, you got the salmon, and that little bit of salmon is going to give this chowder, or not chowder, seafood chowder. It's going to give that seafood chowder the best taste in the world. Just that little bit of salmon right on that spoon. And it's too hot for me to put in my mouth, or I would put it there. But y'all take a spoonful. Look at that. I got crab, I got salmon. Where's me a shrimp? Yep, I got a great big old shrimp right there. Look at that. Steaming hot, y'all. I gotta try it, but it's too hot. Maybe if I get a little bit of piece of salmon and a potato and get it cooled, I can put it in my mouth without burning me. But y'all try it. Open wide. Take a bite. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat, and bless all the YouTubers out there in YouTube land. I know a lot of them need prayer, including me. Amen. I'm going to skip the crackers because I want this soup, this chowder, seafood chowder. Y'all, that is a winning dish right there. It does need a little bit more salt. But other than that, it is a winning dish, y'all. And that pot full is going to make about 3 bowls of this. And I'll probably eat 2 bowls tonight. And I'll eat the other part of it tomorrow, probably. Yeah, there's just enough salmon with that little bit I shaved off of the skin to give this the best flavor in the world. I'll take another bite. There's a piece of lobster and salmon right there. I have yet to get a shrimp in my mouth because they're so thick. I was afraid I was going to burn my mouth. Y'all take a shrimp. Don't that look good? Oh my God, it's so good. I've been thinking about this seafood chowder for a week or more now. And I said, I've got to fix some. Oh. 3 or 4 thumbs up. And I finally brought my light in here that my anonymous giver sent me here a while back. And I was thinking it wasn't going to work in the kitchen, but I think it's working great. It's cut down the glare from the light under the stove. I don't have to have the light on behind me. I've got this light over here, and I'll show it to you. See that oval, that round light? And I can even put my camera there at it. I mean, it's got a holder for 3 different cameras. But, you know, I don't know what I'd do with 3. I mean, I guess I could go live in 3 different places at one time. But it looks like it's working great. I mean, the light is on me a lot better. There's not so much glare. So I think it's a winning item, that light back there. And this is definitely a winning soup. I mean, chowder, y'all. I keep wanting to call it soup. It's chowder. It's seafood chowder. You can make it as thick as you want it or as thin as you want it. I like it kind of semi-thick. Y'all, that is so good. I can't imagine what they'd charge me for a bowl of this if I went to a restaurant. Probably about $20 for one bowl. Because it's got shrimp, it's got salmon, it's got crab meat, not to mention all the other ingredients. But it's inexpensive too. If you buy, and I don't know if I told you where I got the salmon. I bought it at Aldi's. I'm not saying they have the best salmon, but they have equal as good salmon as any other store I've been in, because I usually buy my salmon in Aldi's. And it's superb. And it has the lower price, especially with the Atlantic salmon. I mean, $9 a pound, you think that's outrageous. Well, it is expensive. But I didn't buy a whole pound. Mine was only $6.50. And I'm going to get more than 2 meals, because I've got a whole pot of chowder, seafood chowder, which I'm going to probably have 3 more bowls out of that pot. And then I've got the other part of the salmon yet to cook. And that's going to be my meal, where I actually bake that salmon in my frying pan and make a meal with it. And I'll probably show you that too, but I won't do it today. Maybe tomorrow. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Maybe got some tips. You can probably make a better seafood chowder than I do. I don't know. But this is the way you can do it if you're money conscious. If you're limited on your budget, you don't have a fortune to spend, and you can make your dollars stretch and still eat good food. So with that, I want you to please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Tell everybody about my videos. That's in sharing it. I need views, y'all. Without the views, I'm not going to be a YouTube channel. My channel will die. So I need those views. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Doesn't cost anything to watch a video. And you'll be helping me out tremendously. And with that, I'm going to wish you a good day. Have a blessed evening, day, morning, whenever you watch this. And I'll see you on my next one. Love y'all. Bye now.